he contended...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Press Club for today's National Australia Bank Address. As part of the program of events to mark National E-Security Week, we're pleased to introduce two speakers for you today to discuss the information security challenges that we face in a world increasingly reliant on information technology and the internet. Professor Peter Shergold, no doubt very well known to most, if not all people, as you know, he was at one stage the most senior bureaucrat in the Australian Public Service as Secretary of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet. He now holds the Macquarie Group Foundation Professorship at the Centre for Social Impact and a senior academic he also is at the Australian Business School at the University of New South Wales. He's joined by Dr. Vikram Sharma, the Founding Director and Chief Executive of QuintessenceLabs, an expert in quantum cryptology, which I think is probably something Dr. Sharma is going to explain to us what it means during the course of today's event. Dr. Sharma completed his doctorate at the Australian National University. He's worked overseas in California. He came back to the ANU to complete that doctorate, and he's also commercialised the technology which ultimately led to the creation of QuintessenceLabs. Professor Shergold is going to lead off today, and then we'll hear from Dr. Sharma.
President and members of the National Press Club and distinguished guests, good afternoon. My name is Peter Shergold. As you've heard, I used to be the Secretary of the Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet, and now I'm the Chairman of a venture capital startup, QuintessenceLabs, which is located at the Australian National University. I must say, when I used to appear at the National Press Club, I used to worry about how much that I knew that I could keep confidential. And today, I worry about keeping hidden how much I don't know. What I want to do is to convey to you in a few short minutes the sense of excitement and genuine anticipation I feel about my role as QuintessenceLabs, or QLabs. QLabs has the potential to be a truly Australian success story. This is a narrative built around three interwoven themes. It's an unfinished tale of extraordinary challenge, scientific inspiration, and commercial entrepreneurship. The challenge, to which this week of activities bears testimony, is e-security. All of us who undertake transactions on the internet are aware of the risks that our privacy might be invaded or our identities stolen for financial advantage. But few of us, I suspect, are fully aware of how much more deep-seated and profound are the dangers of electronic communication. As around the world, the actions of President Barack Obama are everyday front-page news. You might be forgiven then for having missed one significant announcement, namely the recent appointment of a White House coordinator to oversee cybersecurity, or, to express the initiative rather more colourfully, the creation of a cybercrime czar. Cyberspace is real, and so are the risks that come with it, warned President Obama, as he set out the emerging scale of the problem. The appointment is just one outcome of a cybersecurity review established by the President in February. It was driven by a growing awareness that cyberspace, the globally connected digital communications infrastructure, which underpins almost every facet of modern society, that cyberspace is highly vulnerable to attack. Its architecture, driven by the need for interoperability and efficiency, is not secure. For nations, just as for individuals, there's an increasing level of risk that needs to be prudently managed. Public safety, financial transactions, intellectual property, military information, and national security are all to varying extents under threat. The US National Security Council has been urged to establish a directorate on cybersecurity, the Pentagon to create a command dedicated to cyberspace. It's clear that the US is getting serious about the need to address its strategic vulnerability. And so too, in truth, is Australia. The Rudd government shares the concerns of the Obama administration. A whole-of-government e-security review has been conducted, led by the Attorney General's Department. The Prime Minister himself has flagged cyber defence as a key focus in his government's inaugural national security statement. Appointments of senior bureaucrats. How much more boring that sounds than czars. Appointments of senior bureaucrats have been made to ensure that cybersecurity is properly oversighted in the Cabinet Implementation Unit of the Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet and in the Office of the PM's National Security Advisor. So much for the problem. Let me now turn for the solution to cutting science. The story for me goes back 7 years when, as the departmental secretary responsible for science, I first became aware of the breakthrough research being undertaken on quantum cryptography in the physics department of the ANU. It was path-breaking work, recognised by the award of the Eureka Prize for Science in 2006. A dedicated and resourceful team, most of whom now work with QLabs, were uncovering the potential of quantum phenomena to create a genuinely untappable means of electronic communication, an ultra-secure information encryption system embedded in a continuous laser beam emitting billions of photons per second. That's my science. Sat on the National Security Committee of Cabinet for some years, I grew to appreciate the potential of this new technology. I came to recognise that the existing cryptography, which is largely based on complex mathematical algorithms, is likely to be broken in the future by increasing computational power. Quantum technology, by contrast, offers the prospect of everlasting security. It is unbreakable. The challenge, of course, is to convert first-class science into practical application and to translate the creativity of the laboratory into commercial success. Research grants from the Department of Defence, the award of a grant from AusIndustry provided vital early support. That government funding, together with the financial